Third graders, Eleanor Azurbe and Sierra D. Fourth grade, Sydney Bellevue, Devin Adjutant, and Devin Adjutant. Fifth graders, McKinley Coates, Savannah Tangway. Sixth graders, Robbie Lee, Chad Lee, and Alicia Tangway. Seventh grade, Isaac Belanger, Emery Major, and Caitlin Jenkins. And finally, eighth graders, Tanner Heislip, Ina Beaupre, and Dakota Taylor, our pledge person.
Pledge person.
Thank you. Anybody got any questions you got? No questions? Okay. Gil, do you have anything for SAU 64?
Yeah, I just want to say today is one of my favorite days of the year because I go down to Spalding and interview students for scholarships. And it's so wonderful to talk with seniors that were Paul School students and have gone through 4 years at Spalding, and to hear about their experiences and to hear some of the wonderful things that they're doing. And so I just say, every time I come away saying, wow, we have some fantastic kids that represent Wakefield well. So I just want to say that.
How many kids?
How many kids
applied?
Today I think we interviewed 5 for the specific one.
Good.
I mean, there are many other
Right,
scholarships that they applied for. But Spalding graduation is June 8th, and Newt graduation is also the same day, so we have a conflict again this year. But we're all saying it's about the earliest we can remember,
right?
Because of starting early and mild winter. The other thing I wanted to tell you about is I did attend another meeting on the New Hampshire applying for a waiver to the Department of Ed, the federal level, to see if we are going to do that or not. We have to decide by September 8th as a state. And there's quite a bit of work that goes into this application. My feeling at this point, walking away from the last meeting with the superintendents, is that the majority of people are in favor of applying for the waiver because it's really your last chance. If you don't do it this time, then you stay with the No Child Left Behind or whatever change they make with ESEA. And we felt that we could put the New Hampshire spin on it if we applied for it and went through our process. So that's just where we are on that.
Good, that's good. Good to hear.
I think that's it.
Okay, did people get a letter from Spalding along with tickets to the graduation? You all did? Okay.
So we probably need to let them know, not right away, but how many are attending. And
yeah, if you want to attend and you want to give out diplomas, which they let you do, they allow you to do, just have to let them know. They'll sit up on a dais. Dais is what it's called. And hand out diplomas to random kids, not just the Wakefield kids, unless there's a particular child you want to hand a diploma to. So, why don't you let me know if you're interested? I can contact Spalding.
On the Spalding Scholarship Awards night, Wednesday, May 30th, don't we have an SAU meeting?
We do. We do. So that's why I didn't even mention that.
Yeah.
And on the graduation, does anybody need to use my tickets?
I'm all set.
I have mine.
Okay.
May 30th is an SAU?
Right. Yes. Joint board. The 5th one, if there's 5 Wednesdays in a month, that 5th one is our SAU board. I think there's like 3 or 4.
So it's at the SAU?
At the SAU.
And what time?
6 o'clock. Okay. The wellness policy, there's no discussion because it's going to the policy committee. Policy second reading. Policy committee like to take this?
The only thing in IHBI, note. It's the last one
Yeah.
in the packet.
Oh, just the word note or the
No,
whole?
see where it says
whole
note?
thing.
We
Okay, the
need
whole
to
thing.
delete that note.
Okay.
And leave the legal references.
Leave the legal references, but also take out new policy, May 2008. That refers to School Board Association, when it was a new policy for them, not us.
Oh, at the very bottom, okay.
So you're taking out that whole section?
Right. And then at the bottom of legal references, the new policy made 2008, the rest of it stays. Yeah.
But this goes.
Right.
The rest of it staying?
Yeah, the rest
The
of it,
legal reference?
right, the RSAs and all that will
Yeah.
stay, just new policy made 2008 goes.
I don't think Kathy caught that one. All the rest of them she did, I checked them.
She'll get the name of this.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to do these separately, or?
Well, I'll
So-
do it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept revised policies IHAM. That would be my first motion,
So
because
gonna
that
do-
one's revised.
Okay.
So motion to accept
Can I have a second?
IHAM.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion to accept policies IHAMA, IHBAA, IHBCA, and IHBI with the correction that were reaffirmed.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, let me
Motion-
just make sure I've got the list correct.
It's all the ones that are reaffirmed.
It's all the reaffirmed ones, so
Yeah.
that's IHAMA, IHBAA, IHBCA, and IHBI.
Right. Then I'll make a motion to adopt IHAMC, IHBA, and IHBBA. Those are all new.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's one packet. I'll make a motion to reaffirm IFA, IHCA, IJO, IKA, IKG, IMAH.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept the following revised policies. IHCD, IJ, IJL, IJOA, IKE. I think that's it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept new policies, IF, IL, IMC, IMG.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Helen, do you have your old packet that has the ones on it that we deleted? Deleted
Yes, I
ones
do.
aren't on here.
You want the old packet?
Yeah, Judy, do you want me to list the names as well as
Yes,
the
please.
numbers?
These should say right on the front.
Those?
Eliminate, okay, I'm gonna make a motion to eliminate IK and IKAA. IK is earning of credit. IKAA is interdisciplinary credit. And those basically were more high school ones that weren't necessary
Second.
for us.
All in favor?
Aye.
I knew I brought this for a reason. I didn't know what it was, now I know.
Social studies we already did.
Okay. School board business. We'd like to congratulate Liz Olympio for being honored as the Wakefield Citizen of the Year. In my opinion, the Chamber of Commerce couldn't have had a better choice. Congratulations, Liz. So she'll be riding the float, right?
Congratulations.
On a white horse.
On a white horse.
Nice.
I was very excited when I heard that. I said, oh, one of ours, yes. Okay, committee reports.
We had a Safe Routes to Schools committee meeting Tuesday. The grant's been being submitted to Department of Transportation for the $5,000.
Mhm.
It's just short of $5,000. It's like $49.70 or something like that. And we're still working on the travel plan, and that'll be submitted hopefully fairly soon as well. And then we can decide if we want to go for the bigger sidewalk grant. There is a round this fall, but I don't think we're going to be prepared to do that yet.
You're on that too, aren't you, Doug?
Yep, yeah. Yeah, we're going to meet once more before the close of the year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions about that, the committee report? Do you have a report?
Do I have a report?
Yeah.
On
New
what?
Hampshire School Board Association Committee, that's your thing. We went to a meeting.
Oh, about the workshop?
Yeah.
Yeah, we attended a workshop last week. It was Steve and I and Priscilla, and it was very informative. We were given a book on our role as a new board member. We were also given some of the expectations of a school board member. We were able to sit into some workshops, discuss the right-to-know law and how it applies to us and how we were to address it. It was very informative. We found that there are a lot of districts that are going through the same thing as far as they having a hard time with the right to know, with where we draw the line and what we're allowed to discuss in public. So that was very informative. I know I'm going to be attending an all-day workshop, hopefully, if I get the approval. I'd like to be attending an all-day workshop on just the right to know law. So that's something that I think we need to investigate a little more. And that's with Barrett Christina, and they briefed us. We had several different speakers, and it was very informative. We were able to get a lot of information. We'll be getting a copy of the Roberts Rules of Order, and I think that'll help as well to understand how we're supposed to be running a meeting. And so it was very informative. I mean, for me, I took a lot of notes and got to meet a lot of people, and kind of understood, where I stood. So a lot of research, but it was good. Hopefully, with the next workshop, it'll be a little better.
And how was the food, Steve?
Is
It was
that
a sandwich.
So,
Do you have anything to add?
yeah,
No? Okay. All right.
Priscilla, I forgot one thing.
Sure.
You were going to talk about your summer meeting schedule.
Oh, yes. I wrote that down, too. We normally meet in the summer, 1 week in July and 1 week in August, but because we're going to have a new superintendent and principal, I think it's probably a good idea to meet both, 2 meetings in both months. So can we still have the 1st and the 3rd?
Milton would like the 18th and the 15th. So 18th of July and the 15th
I don't know where that comes on calendar.
August. It was because their administrators are all out at a workshop. So I'm sure Scott could get a calendar in 2 seconds.
the 18th
So
and the
July
15th?
4th is a Wednesday, so
Oh,
that kind
I'm
of
not gonna do
throws
that,
you.
yeah.
And so if you did the 11th and the 25th, and they did the 18th, that would work.
July 11th?
July 11th and
I won't be around,
25th.
but
And then
July
August,
11th.
they wanted to see if they could use the 15th, so as long as you could go around that.
What is the 15th a Wednesday, or?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's a, they're taking
You
our
get a
1st and
calendar
3rd.
up?
We should have
15th
got
is
in
a
here
Wednesday.
first.
15th's a Wednesday, there's a
The third
first, you have the
Wednesday.
1st, the 8th, the 22nd, and the 29th. So you have 4 choices for 2 meetings.
29th of the same.
Oh, 29th says you.
So what are you,
July 29th.
So we're going to do July
August
11th
20th.
and 25th?
if that's okay with everybody?
I won't be here on the 11th. but
What about the 8th and the 22nd for August?
you want to do something other than the 11th then? You're not going to be here?
Yeah. I mean,
What else is open in July before, around the 11th?
Well,
other than the 11th?
you could
The
do it
4th is-
Tuesday. You can always do it Tuesday, but you don't want to do July 4th. I don't
No.
Are you gone
no.
that whole week? Is
I
that-
am, but,
okay.
I mean, if I need to drive back, I'll be about an hour and a half away, so as long as it's a morning or, during the day, I can drive back and then just go back. I just prefer not to drive in the evening if I'm about an hour and 45 minutes or so away.
Why don't we do it before that, so that everybody can be here? We could do it on a Tuesday. What would the Tuesday be? The 5th? The 3rd?
If you're talking about the week before.
Yeah, it's
Does the
whatever's good
3rd
for everyone
Tuesday
else is
work for
fine.
people?
It's fine with me.
That's
It's
gonna
just
be like their
the day
second day
before.
on the job.
Yeah, the day before.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
kind of rough, I think.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
mean,
Would
so
we
you're
have it
not
during the day,
available at all the
Priscilla?
week of the 11th, is what you're saying. Yeah.
right. But when if it is during the day, like I said, I'll be
It'll
about
be the evening.
an hour. It has to be in the evening.
Well, we've never had a meeting. I think it'd be too confusing to have it
Okay.
during the day.
Oh, if it's, I mean, don't hold it up on my account. So
I'd like to accommodate everybody though.
See, the 11th is a state workshop, and so a lot of the administrators
Oh,
have
so-
to be at the state workshop. That's why.
okay, so that won't work
yeah.
either.
Well, it's not Wakefield. It's mostly Milton. That's why Milton needed the
Okay.
opposite. They needed the 18th because of their administrators.
We do like the 17th.
17th and the 25th?
That's pushing it too far.
Too far.
Yeah, that's awfully close between meetings. And the 29th doesn't work.
All right, maybe the 16th. Let me see.
I don't have a
You
calendar.
could also just email because
If we're not on a Wednesday,
you could always. I mean, I'm bringing it up now. You don't
Okay.
have to make a decision today. You can
Okay.
get your calendars together.
Yeah, see what we can do.
But is it okay for me to give Milton the 18th and the?
No, that's ours, and they can't have it. No, Milton can have their choices, how's that?
Okay, so
We'll
if they're going
consider
to do
Milton.
the 18th and the 15th, and you just work around
They,
it.
they asked first, so they get
Okay.
it.
yep, that's fine.
That's fair.
Are we doing the 8th and the 22nd in August?
Yeah, we'll do that for August. And then we'll,
Okay.
Okay,
and
so
the
you said
25th of
August
July.
8th and 22nd?
Okay,
Yeah,
and July 25th.
July 25th, and then we'll worry about the beginning of the month, somewhere between the 1st and the 25th.
Okay.
Are we doing the same 6 o'clock?
August 8th, right?
August 8th, yeah,
I
that's,
was looking here.
that's an 8,
Yeah. Put it
Priscilla, are
in-
we still doing 6
in
o'clock?
August days and
and 22nd.
We still doing 6? 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock,
Okay.
standard.
So 25th, the 8th, and the 22nd. Okay.
Okay.
What about the 5th?
Hmm?
The 5th.
It's all right with me.
It's all right with me.
It's a
All right with you,
Thursday.
August 5th?
Steve?
I mean, July 5th?
what? Is anybody or could anybody of the people, the new people may not be going
Right, it's the
extra
4th of July.
for
Fourth of
4th
July
of
week.
July, they might be going away or
The
something for
first
the
day of
4th.
work is the 2nd.
True.
I don't think they have vacation time coming to them yet. They haven't started working yet. They'll have a day off. They'll have the holiday off.
Okay, why don't we tentatively say the 5th, and then we can always check with people and make sure
Okay.
if that's going to work. How's that?
Okay.
Have to sober up
All right.
after the 4th.
And then on the 30th.
Okay, anything
in
else,
May is
anybody else?
SAU. No.
Okay, I'd like to make an announcement that we have a new superintendent coming in on July 1st. Jerry McIntyre, he was the superintendent. Jay
Jay
McIntyre. Our new principal's Jerry. so
Jerry.
Yes, that's
I
right.
do this all the time. Jay McIntyre, he's superintendent up in Tamworth, Madison, and I forget the other district. Freedom. And he'll be joining us, and Gail will be going on to greener pastures in Barrington. So we wish Gail all the luck in the world.
Absolutely.
Hopefully Jerry will come forward, and Jay will come forward and do as good a job as Gail. And
Jay's
maybe
the
I'll learn his
superintendent.
name by then.
Say M-A-C-I-N-T.
MC, capital
M-C-I-N.
I-N-T-I-R-E.
So it's Jay McIntyre.
Jay
Jay
McIntyre and Jerry
McIntyre.
Gregoire.
Jerry Gregoire.
J,
And
J,
he's an
I even wrote
interim.
down Jerry. Huh?
Interim.
He's an interim
He's an
superintendent.
interim superintendent for a year. Yeah. While we talk about other things at the SAU level. But he's here for a year. Anything else?
Doug.
Doug?
I have one more, and I apologize. I
That's okay.
should have brought this up at the principal report time, but I don't know if you have this. I assumed you did, a field trip request from the 7th grade. Was that not in your packet?
No?
So can I, this is the only copy I'm holding, so I'll just pass that on.
They're going out of town?
That's
I mean,
why,
out
it's
of
out of state, so it requires board approval. So 7th grade trip to the Museum of Science on,
Boston.
hoping from May 29th. The backup information, it gives you the relation to the curriculum, the pre and post activity, the cost, which is 0 to students,
Yeah.
and then the number of students and the number of chaperones planned.
You already knew the
So-
question, right?
Well, I just,
If anybody wants to.
so, if you want to take a peek at that before I leave,
I have
I'll
no
run some
problem with it.
copies of that, but that's all, I assume that was in your packet, so I
No, it
apologize for
wasn't.
that. So, but it's the out-of-state issue
Right.
is the.
Exactly.
I don't have any
Approval.
problem
Yeah.
with that.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion to accept the
I'll make a motion to accept.
okay. 7th graders
Absolutely.
out-of-state trip to the Museum of Science and Planetarium.
I
Can I have
make
a
a
second?
motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Parents
Okay,
are going to be
thanks.
responsible for picking them up because the time of return is
At-
5 o'clock.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we had a couple of field trips that were later, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
it wasn't any problem,
No,
was there?
actually, that usually goes very
Worked well.
smoothly,
Yeah,
yeah.
it Works well. Except for that one kid whose parents
Nah,
doesn't
not
come
this
and sit
year,
in your
actually,
face.
you know, don't jinx
Been
us,
there
you
so
know.
many times,
oh, well.
but that's okay. Okay.
It'll be a good trip.
Uh, Any other school board
That's it.
business?
Anytime.
Yeah, is anybody gonna look at the swimming pool? Or was that the general?
I'm going to call Chip.
She'll
I'm going to
call
call
the
the
architect.
I'm going to call the architect.
We're not gonna let
Yeah.
it go, Steve. We'll
And
see. We'll find out.
who is Chip?
Chip Kraus is, he was the architect for that addition.
Well, would that be a smart thing to do? Because if that's the individual who designed the swimming pool, you would probably want to steer clear of
But maybe he can
someone
give us some
who thinks a
reason.
swimming pool's a great idea in the middle of your roof.
Maybe he can give us some reasons and some, some explanations on the weight load and that kind of stuff. And, we can always contact another architect too.
Well, but I'm just thinking, someone maybe, like I said, someone's that, because you would think if he's the person who designed that, you would probably want to stay away from that because the whole idea would be to try to, if at all possible, get rid of that.
Okay, well, I think we should talk to him because he designed it and we'll get some information and then maybe get another architect to look at it. How's that? Get an
As long as we're gonna,
Okay.
I want his,
His reasoning and.
yeah, for not doing something different. I want him to explain why it was done the way it was.
Okay, but we won't let it go, Steve. We'll find out. Okay, any other board business?
well, then I had the question once again is why is the discipline report a non-public again? Shouldn't that be in public?
The report?
So-
As long as there's nothing that
As
you're
long as
going to
there's no
bring up a
student in there.
student's name, or you're welcome to have it, as long as it's not.
I
I
think,
mean, it always was done in public session, that's why now all
I
of a sudden it
think,
seems
well, I think
to...
because we did
If
it
there's
in
a student's
non-public one
name.
time, that Kathy we tell her discipline report, Gail and I give her things to put on there, and she just sticks it in non-public because that's where we had it last
Well,
time. So it's just an
okay.
oversight.
All
I'll
right,
talk to
but
Kathy.
so
Okay,
then
we
we-
can put it in public.
Yeah. I'll talk to Kathy and tell her that it's going to be in public unless we state otherwise.
Yeah, there's no one's name
Okay,
in
good.
it, so.
Can we do that now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. It's the last page of your board, and you can see how the heading kind of got caught on
Mhm.
the bottom page just prior to it. But the kind of, like it's kind of a good news, bad news report. This
Oh,
one,
no,
too.
we only
No,
want
it
good
is, it
news.
is. But, well, the good news, The numbers are just, as we've spoken so many times, they're incredibly consistent month to month. They really are. The downside of that is this is one of those months where there's a vacation weekend, and I usually can tell you, look at the numbers, look at how they're lower. That's because, well, this time in our 3 weeks, we pretty much stayed pretty steady with what is your average average month for even a 4-week month. So it was a busy month. I don't think it's too surprising that things ramp up a little bit as we approach the end of the year. Yeah. But that aside, it is consistent. You can see the numbers, and as always, just compare it back to all the others, and you'll see how consistent. The targeted individuals, those are the kids that I try to, if an individual visits the support center 5 or more times in a reporting period, I try to just track those. And I think this is a bit of good news, because even though we have three students to report, all 3 of those students are new kiddos. So there were this was the first time that we haven't had a repeat person across that 5 mark. The top visitor there with 8, that was an individual, an 8th grade student with a bit of a significant recent event, and it makes a lot of sense that he's utilized that service recently. The other thing that's happened this month more than other months, kind of stepping back from the discipline a little bit and let you know a little bit how we use the support center. Ben reported that more than any other month, there had been kids that have come in to finish an assignment or work on something just on their own in a quiet spot, or get some further assistance. So as long as he's not dealing with crises, as long as the space is available, and as long as a student wants to kind of use it that way appropriately, I think that's a deal kind of between that student and the teacher and Ben. And so anyway, he said some of his numbers were not necessarily a problem coming his way, but a student who just wanted to complete something and needed that 5, 10, 15, whatever minutes to do so, and asked if he could utilize that space.
Maybe he needs to break that number out, though.
I can ask him if that trend continues.
Right.
But it was enough this month that he mentioned it to me, so I thought I'd bring it up. He hasn't mentioned that as a
So for some reason they weren't able to complete their assignments in their classroom?
I don't know that. It could, whatever the reason is or was.
So not
I just wanted to point out that
discipline.
it's yet another use of the space for what is ultimately a pretty positive visit.
So it's not crisis.
My numbers too, again, remain pretty consistent. We had a couple bus issues that needed attention, but that number is kind of holding steady at that. I think if we look back in the couple months that Tim referenced, since we've changed the procedure dismissal time, I think we'd find that number has kind of gone between anywhere from kind of that 8, 9, 10 mark, right in that area, whereas it was a little bit higher than that, on average prior to that change. And then I don't think we're going to see a lot of fluctuation in those percentages. It moves very, very little, as you can see down bottom. And again, I've tracked that since the day that you asked me to begin to track that, which now I think is probably the last 4 reports or so. So that's a running percentage total for the year, not for only this reporting period.
Right.
And the higher percentage, you still see it in the classroom?
Yep, definitely.
That's where they spend most of the time.
Definitely. I think it's been a high of 50, 51, and a low. This might be, I think it's been right there, 48 to 51, right in that
And not the cafeteria?
Right, well, the CAF is the
10%?
second most, 16. I'm sorry, I'm reading it wrong.
Cafeteria's only 10.
Yep, I'm sorry, you're right. Yep, I was looking at playground this month.
Reported it, okay.
Yep. That is up from 8, I think.
I'll say that.
I think that's up from
You
8.
have to remember it.
Yeah.
And with our numbers and, a couple of events, that could just be a couple of more events, So.
Anybody have any
good.
questions of Doug? Thank you, Doug.
No, it was good,
Okay,
thanks.
thanks.
Okay, any other school board business?